I'm Rick Fleeter. I wrote the book, Love is Strong as Death, and I'm just taking a minute to explain to you why I wrote this book and what's in the book. The book was motivated by my wife Nancy, who suggested to me to make a book about our experience when she realized that she was likely to die of cancer, and felt that in fact this was an experience that a lot of people had, and that maybe what we learned, not knowing really anything about that whole experience, might be of value to other people. And the book became, in a sense, 3 books, the first part of which was us trying to realize that this was what was in fact happening to us. I think the first stage for anyone is to realize that life is finite and that you're in a process that's going to culminate in the end of a life. And the second, and she helped me to write that part of the book and really got the project started, and it was a project of the 2 of us. The second part of the book was at the point when someone dies, there's just a mechanics of how that happens and what you do with that, and for most of us we've never been there and we're not professionals, neither in the process of ushering another person through that process, and then how do you handle it afterwards? How do you become that person who represents the person who has died? And then the third part is, well, you were 2 people for, in our case, 25 years, and now you're 1 person. And how do you make sense of that? How do you reason your way through that and go on with a life? Well, those are big questions, and I'm not an expert in any of those questions, and that's exactly why we thought it would be a good idea to write the book. None of us are really expert in those things, and the books that exist on that topic tend to be written by experts who are very smart about those things, but maybe haven't got the perspective of a novice like us to just say, well, this was our experience. The book is very specific in that it talks really only about our friends, our experience, how we grappled with it, and doesn't attempt to say, well, these are the great general principles of death and dying, but rather it's 2 people's story and then 1 person's story. And I think for other people reading it, that is the value in the book, not to learn about the topic, but to say, okay, I see this and that they went through, that I'm not going through the exact same thing, but I can see how their experience translates into my experience. So I think the book in general has the motivation of helping other people to put the experience into perspective, to understand it, to maybe be a little less naive than I was in terms of realizing what's going on and realizing the universality of the death experience, and being able to put it in the perspective of love and relationships and life. And I hope you'll give the book a chance to play a role in your own experiences, and to kind of broaden your kind of relationship with a topic that people don't think they want to have a relationship with, and which yet on the other hand really is a part of what we as human beings count as part of our series of experiences, and something which, just like all of our experiences, can be better or less difficult, at least, because I don't want to say it's a great experience, but it is an experience that you can manage better, that you can do better, and that you can help yourself and help the people around you, and also help the person who's dying, if you have the perspective on it. And the book is one element, probably of many, that you could use to gain that perspective. So I hope you'll look for the book, Love is Strong as Death, and listed under our names, Rick and Nancy Fleeter.